This says, is the ref an Arsenal fan, or is this what it is like to have a non-biased referee? New feelings. Yeah, I mean, I've seen a few people say that you should have conceded a penalty for the Calafiori handball.
Really?
That's always saying.
That's reaching.
The Premier League refs have to watch this game.
Yeah, natural.
Honest to God, not just because of like the not giving anything stupid away, just the way he controlled the game. The referee, it's just levels above the Premier League refs. Honest to God.
All I have to say is Dermot Gallagher is an absolute disgrace and shouldn't be on TV. That guy is useless. Did you guys see what he said the other about Ndidi?
Yeah, we saw that. Do you know what's also funny as well? Do you know that they've picked? I don't believe there's a conspiracy against Arsenal. Everybody knows that. But I do believe they're incompetent, and the conspiracy is that they try and protect themselves. Have you noticed how the one that all the referees have said was wrong and that they rescinded it and changed it straight away was the Bruno one, knowing full well that the attention around Man United and the manager at the moment is going to overshadow that news. And it's like, we'll admit to a little one here. No one's even really focusing on it. No one really cares about it. We'll just admit that one and we'll ignore all the rest. And I'm sitting there thinking it's going to go under the radar because Man United fans, and I understand why, are more focused on what's happening to our club. Rivals never back each other on these. But I'm sitting there thinking, like, how did Bruno end up being red when you've got VAR to stop it? You should never have to have a red card rescinded again. That's what VAR is there for in real time. But, it's crazy. What he said about Ndidi not kicking the ball. Saka was laying on the floor, so therefore he couldn't have taken it quickly. It's like, well, you don't know what Saka was going to do. It's just, it's crazy. Can't believe.
What about the Athletic article about Trossard shouldn't have played against Leicester?
Yeah, because, as well.
This is a joke.
It's one of them things, right? And it's one of the reasons why I started doing the content on this stuff is because I always saw it as a Man United fan. I always saw these things, but I'd never noticed it against anybody else. And it was only when you guys started to do well that I started to see it against Arsenal. Maybe because since I was focusing on other teams so much, since I started doing the YouTube thing, I started noticing, and I was sitting there like, this ain't well. I have never seen, I've seen this that only happened to your club and my club, where your club follows the rules, but then people start writing those rules shouldn't exist. So what do you mean those rules shouldn't exist?
It happened during COVID. It happened during COVID. Everybody had games where they missed because they didn't have enough players to field the team. Arsenal did it for the North London Derby, and the whole league made a big deal about it.
I can tell you. I'll tell you right now. The only reason why they don't do this to City is because everybody is pinning their hopes on these 115 charges. That's the only reason why people don't hate City the way that we're getting the hate. Otherwise, City would have gotten the hate. If there was no 115 charges, do you know what I'm getting?
I think with Arsenal,
it's something different.
With Arsenal and Man United, it's the history. With Arsenal and Man United, it's because back in the day,
fair enough.
That's how I see it.
There's one more thing. Fans like Hamza are 1 in a million in the City fan base, right? There's a
fans that change from Arsenal to Man City.
There's a bunch of Hamzas in all of our other fan bases, right? So when it comes to Man City's fan base, since they're not as loud and they're not as obnoxious and they're not in your face as much, other fan bases don't seem to be annoyed by them winning. So they continue to pick up these trophies and don't get the same level of criticism from other fan bases and rival media as they would if it was Manchester United or Arsenal doing what they did.
No, it's because, listen, you know, funny thing is, Terry, you know what you said. You know the fact that everyone in this country knows referee were very biased towards United. Alex Ferguson. Alex Ferguson was. Alex Ferguson used to be feared in the Premier League. Feared. Referee. He intimidated. He refused to give BBC interview match of the day. He would hold them hostage.
Hang on. That was nothing. Hang on. Stop. I need to mute you again. When you start lying about my club, I have to stop you. So he only refused to interview with media outlets that wrote lies about him. It had nothing to do with the referees. So if a referee made a mistake, he wouldn't refuse to do a BBC interview. It was based on things that the BBC said to him. Where I do agree with you, Hamza, is that he definitely held some weight and he helped to intimidate.
No, but even
hang on, please let me finish talking, Hamza.
Go on.
But there's nothing wrong with that. There's a reason.
Were you favored?
Hang on a minute. hang on a minute. Just hang on a minute and let me. I'll answer you yes or no. The answer is no. Not on every occasion. There are definitely times where things went our way, but it also happened in that same era that I grew up in. Arsenal would get this. Go back. Stop shaking it. Hamza. Honestly, bruv, listen to understand as opposed to respond. I am not saying that Man United didn't get decisions going their way, but I'm about to hit you with some facts. First one is go back and watch Arsenal's invincible season and look at some of the penalties they got late in games to draw or win matches that may have stopped their invincible run or stopped them from winning the league. If Fergie was influencing the referees so badly that they were all too scared, they would never have done that for Arsenal, first and foremost, right? But it just is what it is. I think all top teams with powerful managers like yours now get influences in decisions because, of course, I think, whether they want to admit it or not, a referee is more intimidated by Pep Guardiola than he is Gary O'Neill. The same as, I just don't think that's something that's even debatable. Of course, there's that there. Hang on, I'm not finished. What I would also say is this. When Fergie retired, they put the stats up, and you can go and research this. It will still be on TalkSport's website somewhere. They added up, for instance, all extra time added on during Fergie's era in the Premier League. How much extra time was added on to games? We only came in at about 6th. There was 5 other teams that had more additional time added on than us. The problem is we were just so good at scoring in that period because it became an aura for us. But the thing is with us, if referees were influenced by Fergie because they were intimidated by his aura, you cannot compare that to bribing people and paying them off. At the end of the day, if people are intimidated by you and walk on the other side of the road, that doesn't make you a criminal. You ain't done nothing wrong. You can't. Do you know what I'm saying? You cannot compare what City are charged with.
Exactly how you read it here is exactly how Ferguson would not allow anyone to have our voice. Listen, you never said exactly. We received better decision in my career, young Ferguson. Yeah. Mark Clattenburg, a famous referee, said United under Fergie had an aura that they used to be favored a lot.
Yes, why? But again, I haven't disagreed.
And
the thing is, hang on a minute. Hang on.
There's your club in this country.
Hamza, we agree. Hamza. Sometimes I don't think you understand English when I say it to you. Maybe it's my accent. Bruv, and you're a smart guy. I know you get it. We both agree. I've said that we definitely got favored at times. I have said that I think referees were intimidated by him. But you can't compare that to allegedly cheating. There's a difference.
No, that's allegedly.
Hamza, how have you done this again? I remember Tottenham scoring a halfway goal. What was in? You don't even need to look at it.
Of course. And denied. But Hamza, but I could give you an example. Hamza, we don't need examples. We know, and I've agreed with you.
Okay, fair enough.
Absolutely
allegations.
What's your point?
My point is when you try to say, Arsenal and Man United, I'm thinking you're the most privileged kid in this country. You got favored so much that when you never got even given something, you thought, I'm so united that we just knew in this country. There's no point.
But the thing is as well, hang on, but Hamza, the thing is as well, is I remember things going against us. I remember losing out on a league title to Chelsea when they scored an offside goal against us when Drogba was offside. An FA Cup final. Ryan Giggs put the ball across the line. Multiple camera angles showed it, but there's no goal line technology. When Porto knocked us out the Champions League, the season that Jose Mourinho went on to win it, we scored a legitimate second goal, which would have killed the tie at that point, and their away goal would not have knocked us out, but it was ruled off for offside when it wasn't. And this is my point. So as much as you can look at these things, and Clattenburg may say that he was intimidated and he did what he did.
Howard Webb.
You're going through it now, and people complain about Man United getting that stuff. I'm complaining about red cards like Bruno got the other day because I think it's right to. However, whether we were favoured or not, we didn't cheat. That's all I'm going to say. Put that out there. I want to finish these super chats off here. Someone says, shameless Hamza with that big forehead. Humble yourself. Well, I used to have a big... There's nothing wrong with being bald. Leave bald people alone. I was one. Hansi Flick and his kids will be a big problem. Yeah, they're looking good, Barcelona. They really are. Seems we know who Hamza will start supporting once he's City get charged. He's ready to go to PSG. Can we praise Arsenal players without mentioning and comparing a single rival player? Can we achieve that as a fan base? Clear the cringy takes. And listen, I don't think anyone's brought up any rival players tonight. I think actually we've done that without putting up on the screen. No one has done that. Look at this here. Spurs were bad. City were bad. Atlanta bad. PSG bad. Arsenal did nothing to shut them down. Same old. It is what it is. Can never win as an Arsenal fan. Big up big up the football terrace. That is. Do you guys feel that as Gooners? Do you feel that, Giuseppe, that sometimes no matter what Arsenal do, it's always played down?
Yeah, 100%. And it goes down to the hate. And I think that's what you were trying to say. You weren't really talking about the refs with Man United. You're talking about the way fans and media treat our clubs rather than refereeing decisions. But like, that's the thing. It stems as well from the media, because it's what the media come out and say. Because as soon as it happens, you got Roy Keane playing down us going to 10 men against City, and that he wants to play it down, even though he was a defensive player, and he should be bigging it up and saying, well done, Arsenal. So it starts from there, and we can never get the praise. And even when, it's a trickle effect, and it will stay forever. I said, if we win the league this season, the standard thing is going to be, you only won the league because Rodri's been injured. And that's why I'm actually gutted that Rodri's injured, that part of me, because I know that that's going to be the new metric for Rodri was injured. That's why you won the league this year. So that we know what it is.
Giuseppe, you know what? Yeah. Sorry. Now, you know what? You see this Arsenal thing, like, we don't need no validation in the location. We don't need any more validation for you, though. All we need, you've set the bar. You said we need to go and win a major trophy in it. So I don't even answer back all these. I don't need you to say we played well, whatever. We are winning games, and that's all I care about. Badly, ugly, dirty, stinky. I do not care. 3 points is the currency that I'm looking for right now. So let's just keep collecting 3 points. And when we can celebrate, we'll see what they're saying then.
But do you think today you were lucky? Like those
how can we be 2-0, clean sheet, dominate the game, not really concede any big chances, and be lucky, Hamza? Talk to me about.
No, I'm just saying, like, do you think Donnarumma, the reason why you won today, Donnarumma made mistakes? I believe PSG should have played Fabian Ruiz.
We played better. That's why
they should have played Colo. And you had basically, I know straight away, Arsenal fans, as soon as you get corners or free kick, you're licking your lips. I'm thinking, this is some Allardyce football Champions League. And the way Donnarumma, he cost PSG today. It's not about you're excellent. They made mistakes, so you won, because he shouldn't have come out to get. It's simple.
Correct. If I'm a PSG player,
you're right. If it's that simple, then the win was good.
Hamza, there's nothing to debate. You're right. You're spot on. Donnarumma is the reason we won 2-0 today. You're right.
Yeah, that's what I believe. I think.
Yeah, me too.
Can I ask you, Hamza? It's
had nothing to do with how well we played, how good defensively we were. Trossard masterclass as a 10. It had nothing to do with any of that. It was Donnarumma.
Also, by the way,
stinker is the reason why we did.
By the way, was it Edison's fault that we scored the set piece goal against you guys at the Etihad as well? If you're gonna blame Donnarumma for our set piece goal today, it's Kyle Walker now, yeah.
That was a foul. Just want to put this out as well. I did a little bit of research when you guys were talking. There's more out there. So during Fergie's era in the Premier League, Man United were awarded 123 penalties from 1992 until 2013. In that time, Chelsea were awarded 122. Arsenal 131, so more than Man United. Liverpool 140. So again, we're influencing the referees to a point where they're giving our three biggest rivals in that time more penalties than us. Also, injury time added on. Liverpool, Arsenal, Everton, and Chelsea all had more injury time than us, and all scored more goals than us, winning goals in injury time than us. Man United received the most amount of red cards out of all of our rivals in that time period as well. Only one more than Arsenal in that point as well. The only stat that is crazy is for 10 years, we only conceded 3 penalties at home, but we conceded more than Liverpool, more than Chelsea, and more than Arsenal away from home in Fergie's era. And this is the problem. The opinions can be there. And even Clattenburg might say, I was influenced, but the facts don't lie. If what you're saying is true, then how are those facts? Just answer me very simply. If what you're saying is true and we were favored, how are those facts out there?
Because we saw it. I witnessed.
No. You couldn't have seen it. I'm going to stop you because I need to stop you. I need to stop you. You couldn't have seen it because your eyes have not seen the facts, have they? You didn't see it. Your brain's telling you saw it, but it ain't there. Get those glasses checked.
No, Terry, it's a fact. When referees are coming out here and they're justified, we were scared of United. We were intimidated of Ferguson.
Okay, so can I ask you a question? Hamza, please stop. Answer the question. If what you're saying is true and is a fact, and because they were more intimidated, we got better decisions, how did Liverpool and Arsenal get more injury time, get more penalties, get less red cards, concede less penalties than Man United? How? When we were the better team in that period too.
Arsenal. How? Listen, I'll put my hand up. I hate Arsenal, but they were the least favored.
Okay, yeah, but you haven't answered. You have not answered my question.
And they lost league.
You've not answered my question. If we were penalties, answer the question.
What? Arsenal deserve those penalties. How many of those penalties did you deserve?
Is that what it is? So the other teams have got more penalties. Okay, there we go. They all deserved it more than we did.
I don't know what it is to get kicked in the penalty box. They will never give them a penalty. I remember when they came to Old Trafford, Rangers got kicked to the ground. There was no single yellow. I was thinking, how if that had happened to Arsenal? If that happened to Arsenal, do you remember Vieira?
Yeah.
You remember Vieira was an Arsenal fan at that point,
you know what it is. That's why he remembers it, because he was an Arsenal fan back then. But like I said, I understand. The worst bit is about this debate is I agree with you that it definitely intimidates certain referees. But the facts are Man United were not given exponentially more decisions than any of our rivals in that period. However, that's what happens when I said recently I want to do an experiment.